المحاضرة. كما أخبرنا اليوم أن أحد من الإخوان الأعزاء انتقل إلى رحمة الله تعالى، فنرجى أن نقرأ لثوابه ولثواب أمواتنا كلهم سورة الفاتحة تسبقها الصلاة على محمد وآل محمد.
اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم.
شيخ والجماعة
يرجى من الإخوان يتقدموا شوي
داخل المسجد لو سمحت، داخل الناحية الثانية. بارك الله بك في طريق جميل.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله رب العالمين، والصلاة والسلام على سيدنا ونبينا حبيب قلوبنا وطبيب نفوسنا وشفيع ذنوبنا أبي القاسم محمد بن عبد الله.
اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد.
وعلى أهل بيته الطيبين الطاهرين المعصومين الذين أذهب الله عنهم الأرجاس وطهرهم من الأدناس وجعل مودتهم أجرا على الناس، ولا سيما على بقية الله في الأرضين الإمام المنتظر حكم القدر صاحب الزمان عجل الله تعالى فرجه الشريف ابن هداة المهديين، وعلى صحبهم الأخيار المنتجبين، وعلى جميع الأنبياء والمرسلين والشهداء والمجاهدين في سبيل الله منذ آدم إلى قيام يوم الدين. أما بعد، روي عن أمير المؤمنين عليه السلام أنه قال: من قل أكله صفى فكره. الصلوات على محمد وآل محمد.
اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد.
As you know, for those of us who have been following this journey through our series of lectures, we have reached a certain point whereby some weapons have been distributed to fight our enemies. And the fight has begun. Inshallah, today, if we pay attention, we will realize that today's topics and our issues to be talked about today are almost fully a practical, very practical aspect. And without practicing on these issues that we talk about, especially today, our being here at this time will have been proved to be fruitless. إذا لاحظنا إلى الأمور والتفتنا إليها، الأمور التي نتكلم عنها اليوم، نجد إن شاء الله كل واحد منها أمر عملي. فعلينا أن نأخذ هذه الأمور هكذا، وإذا سمعنا إلى هذه المحاضرة فحسب فنجد أن هذا الكلام يكون كلاما فارغا. فأنا أوصي نفسي أولا والإخوان الكرام والأخوات الكريمات ثانيا أن نعمل على هذه الأمور كي نستفيد منها إن شاء الله. We have got weapons now to fight with. We have swords and spears. Rather, we have something more penetrative, more stronger than a spear made of iron, as we discussed in our previous talks. Now, before we fight, we need a strategy. Imam Hussein alayhi salam, when he came to Karbala, when he analyzed his enemy, when he looked upon them and examined them, he didn't just start fighting. The fight didn't just begin. There were flanks to the army. Al-Fadl Abbas alayhi salam was the flag bearer on the middle part of the army. On one side we had Zuhair, on one side we had Habib. There were flanks to this army. Imam alayhi salam saw how he should battle with the enemy. And we find this everywhere. For those of you who have seen Gladiator, when he enters, when Maximus enters the Colosseum, he's fighting with his comrades. They're about to lose until he takes charge of the situation. And they form a diamond and hold the shields out. They defend well, they attack well, and they become victorious. Similarly, we need a strategy. We need to consider those things which will help us in the battle, and those things which will potentially harm us in this battle against our enemies, the shaitan, and that nafs within us which prompts us towards evil. In order to devise a strategy, it is imperative and it is essential that we sit down and think about the strategy. Think about which weapons we have at hand. Think about what techniques we have at hand. Think about what our enemy may do. All of this needs us to sit down and think before we start a battle. Which is why we find in the Holy Quran and throughout the riwayat, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala constantly tells us, أَفَلَا يَتَفَكَّرُونَ أَفَلَا تَتَفَكَّرُونَ أَفَلَا يَتَدَبَّرُونَ. Do they not think? Are you not thinking? Are you not contemplating? Without this contemplation, without this sitting down and thinking about how we may address our issues, how do we expect to get anywhere in this battle? How do we expect to fight effectively? How many of us sit down with ourselves and think for a second, silently? Not whilst everyone's there and we're talking to people, no. With ourselves, in the silence, we sit down. Us and Allah alone. What am I doing here? Why am I here? Am I fulfilling the reason Allah created me? What is my destiny? What is my goal? How do I reach it? Am I working in its way to reach it or not? Is this why I was created? The life I'm living now? For those of you who have seen the relatively old film Unbreakable with Bruce Willis, he is this hero type person and he doesn't realize his mission in life until someone else points out to him and asks him, are you fulfilling the reason you're here? Are you fulfilling your objective? And this drives him into motion. We should ask ourselves this from time to time. Are we fulfilling our objectives? Are we fulfilling the purpose of our creation and the purpose of our being here? This kind of tafakkur and contemplation is especially needed in the kind of societies and the kind of lifestyles we live in. We live a life whereby we wake up in the morning and pray Salatul Fajr. Then we might get an hour or so of sleep, and we have some breakfast, we leave for work. We work half of the day, we have a lunch break, we pray Dhuhr and Asr, and we continue our work. We come home, we pray Maghrib and Isha. We have dinner. We spend some time with our families, and we sleep. And the next day is the same thing. And again, and again, and again, and again. And we live this life robotically. If we live in such a way, where is the progression? How is my yesterday different from my today? And so in this rat race kind of environment where I work, and everyone's competing with each other just for work, for money, for hours, it is in this kind of environment that this tafakkur, or this contemplation, this tadabbur, this ta'ammul, this pondering, this deliberation is more required. Because this society has fixed me in a way whereby I don't give myself the time, or I don't have the time to sit down and ask myself, what am I doing? What am I achieving? We need to take a time out from this path we've taken, from this never-ending cycle. Take a time out. What am I doing? Is what I'm doing right? Am I progressing towards Allah? Where are we going in this journey? Where are we heading? Where have we reached? How can someone go on such a journey towards Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, not knowing where he came from, not knowing where he is in the journey, not knowing where he's going or how to get there? Which is why we have the narration from Amir al-Mu'minin alayhi salam, whereby he says, Rahimallah humra'an alima min ayn wa fi ayn